Dust2 will be our battleground here between these two teams, and if you want a comfort map for Sprout, this is it. Maybe they won't be as comfortable on LAN, but they are definitely going to be comfortable on Dust2.
Well, here we go. Dust2, the map everybody loves as we head into it. IEM Cologne gets kicked off for the second best of one here with the B stream. Sprout going to be on the CT side, Big over on the T side, starting things off. Double flash, Smoke, and Searson, Itchy, and a Molotov. It's going to be a heavy utility play from Big as they lean in towards B. 4 players coming over this way. And it's Faven over here close at the back platform. He's got a little bit of a peek out to the left side, trying to be a bit of an off angle. You know, it's very easy to pre-fire the back of the site. So if you're down here on the left, you have a second to react, and he's got a teammate close as well. And Dennis has picked up that first kill. Utility starts to be used up into the B-bomb site. Kills are coming in for Sprout, and Faven's still alive at the back of the site. Finally burnt out, and Cressy on the double kill. That is the quickest round we've seen all day.
Such a fast rotate from the Sprout side. They're instantly into the B site. Cressy arriving through the doors. Any pace that Big wanted to have in their play was snatched away from them by those rotations, by some of those early exchanges. That's a good start for Sprout. They get a nice pistol round win, but they've got to make sure they don't lose up against these Deegs, these oh so dangerous Deegs.
1xBet odds favoring Big at the top of your screen. It's close enough on the odds, but certainly favoring Big. And I think that's the correct call. But yeah, Big coming into this one with Deagles, like you were saying. They are dangerous, but the issue is, you know, they didn't get the bomb plants. They don't have those AKs out. It's still a much better scenario for Sprout to be in. This is the best case scenario. Getting a shutdown in the pistol for the CT side. And it's just a slow approach up short here from Big. Leading the charge is Tabson with his Deagle, and behind him is the Scout of Searson. We talk about Scout players. Searson is one of the best, if not the best Scout player in the world.
He's got to be up there. Always fun to watch with that weapon. Slack sitting on the other side. These are some of those standard spots I think he likes to play, trying to watch the cross, but the timing is off for him. They're just going to have to concede this bomb plant.
Yeah, easy take for Big, right? Just execute up, but there's the shot coming out of Searson. The Flying Scoutsman gets a good start and slacks it out of play. And now 5v4, Big have the advantage, but not for long as Tabson goes down. But what is that from Xantares? The Deagle's coming through the smoke, and it's all on Cressy. Explosive and decisive. It's Big that will win their first round.
Oh boy, Xantares showing up early with the Deag.
What even happened? I really hope we get to see that, because I don't know if that was a collateral or he just got like a double lineup through a smoke. That was nuts from Xantares. You're going to get to see it here. So through the smoke, they just line up for him. A little bit of luck there, but beautiful stuff from Xantares.
Wow. Wow, Big bounce right back early. Just forcing their way onto the A site, muscling their way into position. And that's something I was talking about in the pregame with Slacks, where I feel like he can go maybe a bit too standard at times. He gives them a lot of ground there. He gives them a lot of the bomb site. And then those Deegs have a real chance. They have a chance on the CT side too, though. You can't count them out. Spiddy's landed the early shot, and Big have to back away from that attempted long control.
Faven's going to be forced out of his position, close to doorway, and he's dropped back into CT, but once again, Big are going to get the short control. Slacks is a little bit more aggressive this time, pushed up on the ledge that is often occupied by AWPers. Flash goes out, good peek up, but Tizian on the headshot. Tizian's a play, you know, when they were on their poor spell of performance, Big definitely needed Tizian to show up, and there's been a couple of tournaments now where Tizian has got back to the form we know he's capable of. IEM Cologne would certainly be one of those tournaments you would love to see Tizian start to come back into form again. It's going to be the smoke execute up into short. Keto leading the charge here. Defense is not really holding too well. It's one pick out for Cressy. Spitty's still alive though, and that could be a bit of a problem. With the rest of his teammates going down, it's Faven on the flank that really needs to deliver something. He's so unlucky not to get a kill there, and his teammate's been overrun. That's the Eagle of Faven trying his best to pick off something, but the bomb down now for Big. It's going to be 2-1, and that's the best case scenario for Big, right? You lose the pistol round, you come back swinging in these next two, win the force by in the follow-up round. It's looking good for them.
Another solid short take for them in this round. Puts them over the edge, and will put them into the lead. This is one of the maps that Big played in their series at ESEA Premier, where they got eliminated by LDLC, which was a huge upset. And they lost it 16-14 as the decider map. And in that game, it was actually Keto who was lagging behind pretty heavily on the fragging. He ended on only 12 kills in a 30-round game. So I think that goes to show how important he is, especially on Dust2 as that B-site anchor. He will be an important player for them as this game goes on. It's nice to see a team effort in these early rounds for the big side. And as for Sprout, well, we know they're good on this map, but I don't know if they're good enough to win this round. They've got one Deeg right now.
Yeah, I think this one's probably a fair shout to call over already. This is one of those rounds where you just try and limit the casualties if you're on big, try and build that money up. Stevenson hitting the shot on the cross, so Dennis dealt out even more of a difficult circumstance. And Keto trying to walk his way in, clean headshot. Flicking for the second, but Dennis has come out on top. The USP's got a kill out of that. Now a quick rotation up into the B-bomb site. Centaur's tasked with holding on. He's going to be doing his best. The bomb's in behind him. Centaur's not panicking, though. Knowing how to clear and isolate these angles, and Centaur's does it well. 3 kills, and Spitty goes down as well. 3-1 for Big. Gets a little bit scary, maybe, with a couple of close players quickly rotating over, but that's where the composure comes into play. Very
loose round there from Big against the low buy, willing to spread out and just rely on their individuals to do what they needed to do. Xantares delivers those kills and gives his team the round win. But this one shouldn't be quite as easy. They're up against the buy. Slacks has that AWP out early, although he's had to go without Kevlar to get that into his hands. We've got the early short boost from Slacks, which could catch Big off guard if they're not careful.
Tentative approach from Big. And we'll look to try and take that short control eventually into the round, but they don't want to commit too much to it just yet, especially when Sprout still have some utility left. This close angle of the AWP has spotted the hand of Tabs, and it hasn't been able to take the kill, but eventually it'll get his chance, and unfortunately, not a kill for Slacks. He tries to run away, but Tabson just hunts after him into the fire with a kill.
Another round where the short play seems to be successful for Big. Slacks unable to make the play work on the switch up. He gets caught falling back, and when that happens to you, it's just so hard on Dust2 to get anything going. That's not a favorable fight for Cressy. He's already been taken out, and Sprout have to give up on this one.
Yeah, Big are abusing Slacks. I think it's fair to say right now. He hasn't really been able to do enough in any of these rounds, and even when he gets the AWP out, he's not doing enough. And with that setup of Sprout, you have to get something out of the AWP. You can't afford to go down without a single kill because the AWP doesn't have any rifle support near it. So you're automatically going to lose a huge chunk of map control. You're going to concede the bomb plan. And unless you're thinking about playing retake and are fully committed to that game plan, Slacks has to be able to get a kill there, and he just doesn't find it. So Big, easy rounds for them now as he start to take short time and time again. But he's about to go down here as well. Looks away, and Tabson quickly getting his kill. So nothing saved over for Sprout. Not enough loss bonus to get them a buy here either. You can take a look at their money. It's around $3,000 average, so very likely to be a 5th round here for Big, and the first timeout used by Sprout.
An early one, but I think that's needed.
Loving
this point.
Action music, Hawker.
Yeah.
Back on LAN.
I'm sure that's what the players are feeling right now. I'm sure they're getting all that talking while they can. The coaches having a chat while they have the chance. It's slightly concerning, that start from Slacks. We pointed him out as one of the less experienced players on this Sprout side.
He's slacking.
Yeah. Maybe having to adapt to those LAN circumstances could be a factor.
No, it certainly is, and that's something that we didn't see earlier. I think everybody kind of, well, most players early in our first series adapted very well to the LAN environment. I think for some players, you're certainly going to see those nerves start to come through, and Slacks has not really had the most comfortable start, but it is very early days. It's still only the first couple of rounds. Sprout certainly not out of it, but Big will be very happy about the start they're about to get here. Should be 5-1 up. They're looking to try and flash Keto into mid doors. There's currently 2 players here, and a third in towards CT. It could get a little bit messy if they go through those mid doors. They are taking their time just to try and limit some of the positions, and good patience there from Searson. Spitty jump spots into him. And an opening kill now for Big. And once again, they're just going back to all faithful. Up into short, waiting for some CT aggression. Kills are starting to come in again for Big, and a very good and comfortable start into round 6. They have so many options available to them. They're going to drop back, smoke off CT spawn, and try and split into the B side.
Oh, smokes down on the fly, just in time to allow Tizian to cross safely. And there's no one here to stop them from entering this B bomb site. It actually looked like when tabseN was taking the fight, he might have been looking at his teammate's monitor, or maybe the mini-map. I think he looked away briefly.
He does that
sometimes.
He does that sometimes at LAN. We actually seen him at an event in Malta just at the end of 2019, which is actually one of the last LANs we had. I remember just watching Big play, and tabseN would be looking at everybody's monitors, just watching the play unfold while he was still alive. It's pretty cool to see that. So that's certainly something tabseN does.
It's a big benefit being able to see your teammates' monitors as the IGL, see exactly what's going on. The communication doesn't have to be as important.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, if you can just see what your teammate's doing next to you, you don't need him to call, oh, there's this player here. You can have a little look. They're going to look for that final kill, but they haven't found it. Cressy caught out. Good start from Big here on their T side. Let's see if Slacks can switch things up now with that AWP. Still yet to get a kill on the board. We've also only got faveN on one frag, and he has also got to be a standout for Sprout to have a chance here.
Yeah, you got to have all your big hitters showing up today. You can't afford to have anybody going quiet for Sprout. It's been a pretty quiet start, though, for them, and luckily this time, not getting tagged up by Seriousness. It's a quick long play starting to come out for Keto. Flash has run out, and he's running with it. Right through the side of the smoke, everybody's blind, and Spitty comes out with a double kill, Cressy with a third, and Sprout off to a fantastic start into round 7. This quick long attack has been completely shut down for Big.
Dennis getting up close. Santares knew he had to get something going. They were so heavily down in the round that he had to go for a risky fight.
Oh.
It's one that doesn't work for him. And I think Dennis was just getting that AK from the smoke. He will now go back. Really good counter flashes from Sprout, though. You have to have those in place to stop the early long play. Dennis showing a bit of confidence as he takes that kill at the end there. But for Sprout, I mean, the cool thing about getting the player cams in this round is if you watch Keto's player cam there, you would have seen just how blind he was. His face was white for a long, long time. He didn't see anything as he was running out through long.
He was whiter than me.
Exactly. And then we got that lineup, which Spitty takes, knocks him down, gives Sprout a good early round win, and one that they needed.
A Krieg in play for tabseN. We'll see how that works out for Big coming into this one. It's another quick long attack. If it didn't work the last round, try it again. They're going to send 2 players out. This time a bit of a different variation. They send 2 quickly up into Cat. They're going to force Slacks off the angle. He's forced back into this A site. And I think that's the job you want to do if you're Big. Just get that AWPer off that angle, get that short control. And faveN's about to go in to try and pick off a player. Pinging over the top of the Molotov, but the smoke's going to keep them at bay. Look at the double AWP stack in this position. It's such a strange setup coming in, but everybody's over here for Sprout. It's a party on short right now. Really trying to deal with this attack, and tabseN's gone through. Spitty's got another double kill, but Searson's been able to find the trade, and now Tizian, he slipped up the ramp. He could get in behind. He could shut down 2 players. He's going to find one. Couldn't quite get faveN as he starts to fade away. Crazy round coming out from Sprout. It's not exactly working yet. And Tizian, he's whiffed his shots. It's not exactly the cleanest spray there from him. And that's put Keto into the 1 versus 2. The bomb's not in his possession either. He has to go into the AWP of faveN. And in behind him is Dennis, and they're going to boost up. They're going to give the AWPer a better angle, but this might just work against him. Keto ready for it. Kill comes in. Now looking for Dennis, and Keto wins out the 1v2. Recovers the round for Big, and that looked like a nightmare up until that clutch.
Such a promising sign for Big, seeing Keto get some early kills, some early impact here in this game. We pointed out that he may be the key player. If he can show up for them, then he gives them that extra bit of firepower, that extra bit of fragging. This was so well done by Spitty, being boosted up, had to react to get 2 quick kills. Then Keto eventually realized that was a boosted player, so he just stayed focused on the same angle. Sprout given the 2 1v1 fights. That's the risk you run when you try and boost up like that, because you know Keto's probably going to be looking at short as he pushes there. He's going to have to be looking in that direction. So I don't know if the boost gives you enough of an edge in that fight to be willing to take it alone. You might be better off just trying to peek together in that position. But instead, Keto can turn it into 2 1v1s. And I think so far we're seeing all the positive signs we need to see from Big to have faith in them in this game.
Yeah, every one of these individuals is delivering. Slacks, he's got the AWP out again. It's going to be a quick play down short. He's going to go for some aggression. Oh, Searson, he's going to get the up on him because the smoke blocked the vision of Slacks. And Searson trying to get the follow-up kill. Risky business there, trying to get that AWP out of play, but Cressy at least picks it up and drops it back into short. Immediately, he is actually going to dive down into CT spawn and see if he can get a kill through the mid doors. Searson's waiting for it, though. So if he is to go a little too aggressive, Searson would find the second kill of the round. He's about to set the flash up. Keto, does he go with it? He will start to peer around these close angles, double peek. Could come in for Sprout. They got the AWP in towards CT, and the rifle in towards the B ramp. So Big get that info, they drop back. Oh, repositioning from Dennis. This could be deadly, especially if the rifle inside the site takes that initial attention.
Favin still has a smoke too, which could help delay things on that B bomb site, but there are some nades that are likely about to come his way. Big look like they've got a couple of mollies in hand at the ready for this B site.
Cressy becomes very important right now because he doesn't, because of his positioning, they can keep 2 players inside the B bomb site. Favin doesn't need to leave, which means they can continue this hold, and Favin's going to get away with a double kill. Big continue to run through, and Santara's on the double, has cracked open the B defense. It's just Spitty left alone. And at this point, Sprout are not winning enough rounds. He's got to go for it. He's got to try. And Spitty, one of the most experienced German players, trying to get a clutch against Antares and Tabson. Smoke holding the B-bomb site closed for the meantime. And Spitty has no flashes. He hasn't got a single incendiary. The time is ticking. He's got to get a kill quick. He runs over the top and Tabson's in. Big with another round win.
Solid trades initially from Big. They get that kill onto Favin, who looked like he was going to line up more. He ended up getting a double kill on the hole, but these trade kills from Xantares, and that's what he offers to the team. Tight spacing to begin with, good enough trades from Big, good enough utility to get them into that position. They had that molly for the close left corner, which was nice. It forced that smoke from Favin to be used just to try and keep Dennis alive. And then Xantares comes in with a couple of crisp kills that make all the difference. And now it's only pistols for Sprout. I say only pistols because Dennis has come through with 2. A dink lands onto Xantares. He's in trouble. He's out of there. And it's all on Tizian.
Well, Tizian now has a lot of recovery to do. His teammates have just been taken down in a couple of foul swoops. And Tizian doesn't expect Cressy up on short, and Favin peeks with him. The pistols come out on top. And a miracle round given to Sprout. They desperately needed one of those. It gives them the opportunity to get back into this first half. And Big, very nice shots coming in from Dennis. Look at that. Searson and Keto, just 2 snaps. And that immediately sets up the rest of the unraveling that comes through on Big. With that short peek coming in from the lower tunnel, Spitty had the distraction. And the kills come in.
And because Searson had that B spawn, I guess he's not watching the mid doors. So that's part of the reason why Sprout are allowed to cross into lower tunnels like that. Normally in that sort of round where you know your opponents have pistols, it is pretty common to just have your AWP sit on the mid doors and make sure those pistols can't get into any annoying positions. But I think Searson had that good B spawn, so just decided to go ahead and try and take that fight early. It worked out for the first kill, but Dennis comes back with 2 brilliant shots. And that's more like it from Sprout. A 3rd round win on the board and a chance to cause a bit of chaos here. But here comes the boost from Favin.
Oh, he tried it. It would have actually found something, but it's better to fall off. But look at this. The pace coming in from Xantares right through those mid doors. Favin had no idea, and that is such a quick reply from Big. I absolutely love it as well because they're given an opportunity here on Sprout to try and reset, try and get back into this first half. So what did Big do? Out of the timeout, go for a change in pace, go for something quicker, run through those mid doors. The AWP was looking for top mid. I just didn't see the riflers coming in below him.
Spitty's looking like a kid that sat at his dad's setup right now when he forgot to change the height of the chair.
Yeah,
and you just see his forehead.
And we can watch the match from Spitty's forehead from here.
It's gleaming, but it's not on the server right now. It's been taken out at the end.
Dude, I swear, like, player cams are just hilarious because they're setting them up. And then they go into gamer mode, right? Then they sit at their chair, they lean forward, the angles are all just messed up. I think CS players are a cameraman's worst nightmare at this point. It's not like they can go in and fix it either with the restrictions. But Sprout, double op setup. Spitty win with the Deagle, Cressy on a FAMAS. I've seen better buys, Hawker.
It's not the worst, but it's certainly not the best. Spitty been blinded early. Cressy's continuing to play up close. Got the smoke down to keep themselves safe, but Sprout could have a good chance in these fights here. Early kill for Cressy. He's going to play up close. Slack's finally coming into play. A couple of kills on the AWP, and all of a sudden it's only Searson remaining.
These long holds have been pretty good for Sprout so far. Searson burns out Slacks. I think any more than this, though, will be quite difficult. Searson down in 17 HP. Got to figure out how he's going to turn this in his favor, and I think Sprout at this point are not going to give him too many of those opportunities to get the 1v1 fights. If he goes back, he would have the challenge at T-spawn versus Dennis, who's currently watching for that long walkout. So he wouldn't be able to complain about that. Searson's going to start bringing himself back in towards long. And no one peeking into him. It's going to be the Molotov that goes over the top. Starts to burn away the close side. Searson now giving away that he's still here. Dennis is holding for the exit anyway. And Searson really trying to get these fights to go his way, but no one's peeking. Great discipline from Sprout. Searson looking at least try and get over to the bomb site itself, and he's got a smoke in hand. He's going to throw it onto the site, look for the close fight under Cressy, who's crossed over the elevator. Every single move right now for Sprout is working out perfectly, and Dennis just missed the timing to deny, but finally will get his chance. Searson attempted it, but Sprout really well played in the discipline.
Still have good enough money on the big side, so Sprout will continue to have to contend with these buys. But I think it was very important to see Slacks getting those couple of kills on the board in that previous round. He was 0-10, I think, or 0-9 at least, before that round started. So nice to see him getting a bit of success. Again, playing, I think, pretty common AWP positions, but this time just holding the angle, making sure those nades didn't cause too much of an issue for him. And it was his teammates who were able to take the early fights, and then they had to peek into the AWP and they weren't fully ready for him. So that helped Slacks quite a lot in getting some easier fights. Smoke lands onto short. That was thrown by one of the players further back on the big side. Always a team who have a lot of good nades at the ready, and look at all these smokes from big. They've just thrown 3 smokes out towards A, but Sprout have pushed through the B tunnels.
They have, but I was worried they were going to keep pushing. But it's only one player that's now left with that, and that's Dennis. Oh, no! He missed his opportunity for an easy free kill, and that's going to give away that they've pushed into the lower tunnels. Cressy at least getting the first pick, but now the attack into the A side starts to come in for big. Zantares has found the first kill, and Spitty, he is still here, though. He could be a nuisance if he can stay alive. Him just being there allows Faven to focus on long, and he knows there's a player there. So Tower's really trying to bait out the AWPer, and this walk up to the site has been confirmed. Tap on the bomb. Keto's gone down. Spitty now spraying away. Oh, such a whiff spray from Spitty, and that bomb plant starts to come in. Tabson will secure it. Searson peeking out towards long, but it's Tabson again with a scoped rifle. The Kree coming here to play. And it's going to be Slacks left alone, backing away at CT spawn, has to carry that AWP into the next one. And big, well, another great round for them again, just walking up short. Those short hits are just unstoppable right now.
Finding a lot of success with them. Ooh, that's a nice shot from Slacks. Won't lead to anything, but it might help him save this AWP. Flash gives away exactly where he is. Zantares has been blinded, but he's fully focused, and Slacks is being snuck up on. Oh, he's not ready. Missed shot. Zantares up to 15 frags, and even a couple of shots into the body for good measure.
Well, Zantares certainly has transitioned very well from online to LAN. Well, all the performance from him so far, 15-9, 15-6, should I say, as you were just saying. So, incredible performance out of him.
This is the difficult thing with this A site. Even when you stall out the play like this, Sprout were able to slow down the push from Big, but Big is still so close to the site. They're still so far up, and it's really hard to rotate in properly there. It's so hard to get into a position to help your teammates, so it always feels like the round is on a knife's edge.
Oh, Spitty, he's got in towards Longhouse with his USP. Outside of it is the AWP. Searson holding on. It gets one kill, but goes down quite quickly. And this time, no heroics out of Dennis, and taps and waited for that recovery of the weapon. Favin now been spotted going into lower tunnels, so his element of surprise is gone, and he's a big problem for Xantares because the FAMAS has just taken his head right off. Cressy and Favin may not really stand a chance at winning this round. But might just get something better out of it. Deagle's going to try and take Tapson out of play. Does some damage. Now Favin walking his way back over to T-spawn. Big are going to be up to 10 as we head into the last round of this first half. I was expecting a much closer game, to be honest. I think Sprout haven't really hit the ground running so far.
A couple of slow starts for some of their players. I think Favin's been a bit unfortunate because he's generally playing towards B and he's not been able to get involved as much here on Dust2, which has been a shame. It's nice to see Cressy playing pretty well as one of those more inexperienced players on the roster, but
yeah,
still not been enough to get consistent round wins. And that previous round is a great example of one of Big's strengths being how quick they are to respond to what the opponents are doing. So they see that long push and they're just so quick to react to the B site. They're instantly calling, we need to go B. They do that really well. They're one of the quickest teams, I think, with those reactions. And maybe it's because they've been a roster for so long now. They just know what to do every time.
Yeah, that's very true. That can definitely give you a big advantage. And Speedy is going to try and get his way down into pit. Somehow gets there without being spotted. Cressy getting a kill as well. They don't even need Speedy because the long attack fails again for Big. They have not been winning a lot of those fights. I'd say that's probably the only weakness of Big so far on this T side. Have been some of those long fights coming in from them. As long as they continue to do that, Sprout will stand a chance in these round wins since Xantares tries to get out those mid doors. Searson's come in with a reply, but he's taking significant damage. He's down to 2 HP. He's caught in the open right now as well. The pressure really is on Keto to make the play, and he's done that well. He's not ready for the second, though, and Favin right beside him with the quick reply. Searson's going to try and run his way over to the site, but look at Slacks. Look at Slacks. He's waiting for his prey. Right into his trap he comes. It's 10-5 for Big. They'll lead the way going into the halftime break by 5 rounds. Big are currently dominating the battle of the Germans. Sprout came into this one a little flat. Actually, the pistol was very good from Sprout, but from that point onwards, things went downhill very quickly. The 1x bet odds certainly starting to favor Big more heavily. We're hopping right into the second half. It's Big on the CT side. Again, heavy on utility in the pistol round. It's a good start here as well with that utility. It's got a kill.
Apparently, Searson was blind when he got the kill, but it was the nade that got it. So obviously not too important when you've got that nade in position. Tizian even landing a second shot on long. And now Sprout's chances in this round are slim. 3v5 that they have to turn around. A couple of nades, flash put out into long, but this double stack is still so difficult to overcome.
It's hard to get through, especially with another player now joining them as well at long. This attack is looking so good for Big in terms of trying to just take the fight onto the tees. It's worked out well for Tizian. Yet another kill into this pistol. He's up to 2 in the round. Cressy and Favin now having to figure out where do they want to go with this one. Cressy starts to take his fight into middle. Keto does take a little bit off the top, but not too much. And a smoke into CT spawn will try and neutralize the towers. He's just going to go right through it. Dink comes in as well. 4 and 2 HP now left on the 2 remaining players. And Keto comes in with a double. It's going to be Big winning the pistol in the second half, and they continue their lead.
This shot from Tizian, he just took the fight so aggressively. They weren't ready for it. And then Big are in a position where they still have nades. They're able to use those nades across the map with the rotate to long. That's a really nice way of doing it. When you have that one player with the nades in the pistol playing between the sites, he can quickly go where he's needed. He can quickly help plug the gap. Flash onto long helps in that fight. And Big go 11-5 up. For Sprout, it's a timeout. And it's looking like a potential force buy. Would be a pretty important one for them if they went for it. But there is a chance it will just be Slacks buying the scout here. As the AWPer of the team, he can play a bit differently with the economy at times. Maybe he'll just take a weaker weapon into the next. See if he can do damage in this one.
Oh. Looks like Sprout want to go in towards this long hit early. A lot of players gathering outside of long. Some utility being used up for Big, and that does allow the closer stance of Tizian, who will be playing at blue. So with him pushed up with that SMG, it could get quite messy, especially with the help in behind him. He's got Searson with that scout who can help him peek out for damage, soften up his opponents, but Sprout have started to leave long. They've put a couple of players in towards top middle, just taking the time, trying to figure out what's going on right now. You can use these Glock rounds as a bit of a timeout as well. But for Big, it's all about picking up as much money as possible as Sprout look to try and secure a bomb plan. We'll often see this short walk up with teams trying to just overwhelm the defense on the A bomb site, and you can maybe get a bomb plant out of it, but right now that's the best case scenario for Sprout.
It's not like Big have many weapons that are too good for long range.
Yeah.
Specifically on the A site, you have the scout, but then the MP9 on the site itself. Thompson has just got counter nades at the ready though.
Yeah, the nades could certainly make things easier, even at long range with the MP9, right? So, Taps just waiting to get the info. Here comes the attack up. He's just holding the nade until the perfect time so he can get as much damage as possible. And there it goes, soaring on in. Oh, meaty onto Searson. He's down to 30, but look how much damage is done onto Sprout as well. Tapson cleaning up, Searson getting a nade kill. All the kills quickly coming in, and Big clean it up. They don't lose a single player. Big are now up to 12-5. But here comes the buy from Sprout. A bomb plant would have given them that little bit of extra cash. That would have got them more utility, would have been a far more comfortable buy, but it's good enough.
Smart from Tabson, just so ready with the nade. And doesn't throw the nade too deep into the position, instead throws it as they're running out. So it's going to do even more damage to the Sprout players who want to try and run together with their pistols. Really well played from him. Searson having a look down mid. The tag lands onto Favin, who's down to 12 health. Sprout have got their buy together, but with that full investment previously from Slacks, he's taken a hit down to a Deeg. They've got a Galil in there as well. They are up against this bonus round of Big, though, so against the SMGs, they should still have the firepower advantage.
Oh, it comes down to this utility. Is it going to chunk them up? Cressy running right through the smoke. Keto out of play, and now a second chance for Cressy, but Zantara's done a very good job at staying alive. Smoke deployed out to the right side to try and keep him alive for longer to allow that rotation in from his teammates, but finally, Zantara's is found inside of the site. Big are going to try and come over for this retake, but taking back this B bomb site is going to be so difficult. And the kill from Slacks might just confirm the round win. Tizian and Seriously are going to pull it off with an MP9. Now switch to an AK. So that save call is already starting to come through from Big. And this is that B side take. It's just so clean there from Cressy, getting it out through the smoke, knowing that sometimes a little risk like that is what's needed. And it catches off one of the defenders. When you have two inside of the site like that, you want to be able to hold the site for a bit longer. You can see that Big just didn't have the quick rotation.
I think maybe if Keto has a better weapon, he's going to have a better chance to win that first fight. But with this being the bonus round, it's not as easy to win that initial duel, which is so important on that B site hold. That's something we pointed out earlier too, is Keto on that B site will be an important player for Big. Hopefully they can get some rifles together now. They have saved the AK, so Tizian can drop for one teammate. I think they may be missing some weapons here, though. Searson may just have to stick with the scout. Looks like a pretty good buy overall for Big, though. As for Sprout, let's see if they can get something going against these proper gun rounds. That one was a little easier. That's a nice shot from Slacks, though. Straight through the mid doors. Searson's out of the round.
Yeah, that's a huge start coming in. It's the scout god that gets scouted down by Slacks. And Spitty's going to start walking up into short. He's got a couple of teammates in behind him. Looks like Sprout want to go back to the standard short control we've seen from Big. It worked out so often for them in that first half. Sprout are another team that are really good at these short executes, so they're not going to be uncomfortable on the T side. I think this is where they start to use some of those protocols, and really we'll start to see the comfortability coming in for Sprout. Smoke executes up. Big trying to toss some counter utility up onto the bomb site. And Tizian goes for the fight, but straight away, Spitty's in with a headshot. And now Tapson nipping at the heels, trying to get in behind. The flash is so good for Zantares. 3 kills from Tapson. He goes back in for a 4K, and Tapson finds them all.
Tapson is hyped as hell right now. Back on LAN and back in a big way as he gets the ace on the hold. The flash was fantastic, but how about the aim and just how quick these kills are? It's so efficient on every kill early. He has to get the quick headshots to be able to transfer. And man, that is such an impressive round from Tapson. It's so hard to do that.
Yeah,
it's so hard.
It's so hard to, first of all, just take a deep breath and have that composure. Just snap to each of the heads, right? You panic. You'd have to pick a target. And what a round from Tapson. That's the best play we've had at the tournament so far, at least here on the B stream, at least from what we've seen. Let's go with Tapson. That's what you want to see, because when he's on LAN, he can do that kind of stuff. So really hype moment that for Big. And now Sprout, they're on the Deagles. A Glock in play as well, a couple of players. This is not going to be a fun round for Sprout, most likely.
And you can see why Big are happy to stick with this project. We talked earlier about how they haven't made those roster moves. They're the one team that still has the same roster in place from their previous LAN event all the way back in the early parts of 2020. It really feels like Big are a family. That's what they're building. It's a project for these guys. They're confident in each other's play. They're confident in their team play. Flash has helped Tapson in those fights, and he shows us what he can do individually. We should see this B hold look pretty solid. Zantares was taking that initial fight into mid, just making sure they can't close the distance. Tapson getting a few more kills added to his tally. It's him and Zantares that are battling for the top Dragon spot right now. They're just going back and forth.
Yeah, Big are having fun right now. And I mean, this wasn't really what I was expecting in terms of how this game was going to play out. I thought it was going to be much closer, but just the individual skill from Big has just completely outmatched that of Sprout. They haven't really been able to go head-to-head, toe-for-toe. I think they obviously had a very slow start individually as well, which doesn't help out. So Big are definitely feeling comfortable right now to try and get their first win here at IEM Cologne. Searson looking for those mid-fights. Sprout just hanging out outside of long. They're going to send a very quick attack out, actually, on the other side of that smoke, but he's going to be running just in front of it. And they can just slow it down now. They've got that long control. Big are playing much more passive. They feel confident leaving Searson inside of the site itself. And with that smoke, he's got to be aware that there could have been a player crossed over to pit or even further beyond to the left side of his crosshair.
Here comes that mid-aggression from Big. That means Searson can start to move in towards short because he knows he's safe from that position. He knows he's got his teammates to cover him. So he can hold towards the site. Keto's in towards CT. Sprout need the smokes for the cross here, but they're relying on the flash, and this could be a lineup. Searson misses, but Xantares comes in, and Big are so ready here on the hold.
Yeah, they really are. Fabian just going down so quickly, and it's just they're just ready for what's coming. They got all that info very quickly, and Sprout, the walking wounded on a couple of these players. I mean, particularly Dennis down at 12, and they got to be very careful trying to get this bomb across to the site. Utility still coming in. Another Molotov right in the middle of the site. It's dished out some damage to the AWP of Slacks. Tabson backing up into CT spawn. Another nade coming in. They're just throwing everything they've got just to delay and delay further for Sprout. It's going to make things difficult. Bomb plant finally starts to come through. Finally, Big are out of utility to force them off the site. They just have one smoke left. And they're going to use that in for catwalking, just try and push up on the other side of it. They might attempt to boost, and Dennis, look how aware he is, how ready he is for that, but no kill from it. That could have really turned the tides, but now come Big, straight into the site. It's Slacks with the first kill in the middle of the site. Spitty doing a good job at dispelling them, and Dennis with his follow-up. It's Searson all alone, and he's fallen away from the site. Really good post plant there from Sprout. Good composure as well, because if they had committed to the plant too early, Big would have had all that utility left just to bombard them. Probably would have got a kill out of it.
And that was a really tough spot for Sprout, actually, to play in that position. I think they got slightly fortunate that Big didn't land more shots on the cross, because they had that AWP there, they had that AK in CT, and Xantares on short. There were 3 players watching that cross. So you'd think maybe they'd get a couple more kills, but once Sprout got onto the site, they did a really good job at staying composed, as you pointed out. Not just over-facing, not just trying to take fights because they feel boxed in. They realize they've got a good chance at just slowing it down, still getting that bomb planted. And it's not easy to do that when you've had a tough start to the game. A lot of players there might feel like, I need to make the hero play. I need to get my team back into it. But they make sure to play together. I think that is one of the strengths this Sprout roster has. And it gets them another round. Yeah. Still a long way to go.
So Big just called a timeout to discuss whether or not they wanted to go for the buy here, because they were in a bit of a weird spot where most of their players have money, but some didn't. And so they've decided they're going to go for a little bit of a half buy. They'll have the AWP still in the hands of Searson, but the rest are on pistols. I like this. I mean, they want to get the game done as quickly as possible, but they also want to make sure they have money and they don't throw it all away. So they're going to be just sitting back, saving money for the next round, but I'm not going to count them out on this one. We know what Searson can do sometimes on the AWP. We also know what Xantares can pull off with the deagle, but this is certainly looking good for Sprout.
I think ideally in this round for Searson, he either wants a chance to influence the round early or just play in a position where he will have a good chance to save. And so weighing up those 2 options makes it somewhat difficult at times to play these sorts of rounds. You don't want to overstray and just give away the AWP, but you don't want to just sit back and concede the round. The pistols could still do some work, but Tizian's been caught out early. Xantares seeing what he can do, but Cressy doesn't want any of that fight for good reason. He's pretty low right now.
Yeah, Xantares just gets a little bit unlucky that Cressy got behind the doorway. If Cressy was still in the open, not covered by the door, I think he goes down very quickly there to the deagle. But no kill yet for Big, and Searson going to try and change that fact. He's done that well. One of the Spitty in towards middle. The attack up short starting to come through, and again, it's utility here for Tabson, one of the best players in the world at using that utility up. And Xantares! What? That is just lightning fast from Xantares. 2 deagle headshots and 2 heads now rolling a Sprout across the floor. He's found the bomb as well. Cressy's got to use the smoke to get that back. Dennis has slipped through the lines though. He's in behind B and they have no idea. Keto has absolutely no idea. Dennis, trigger discipline's not quite there to go into CT spawn, but he gets a double kill. Keto and Xantares both down, and now the recovery mission. The bomb going back over to the B site. Cressy's running. He knows he has to get across alive, and it's not going to happen. Searson with a shot through the door, and that is what I was saying at the start of this one, Hawker. Never count out Big when they're on the pistols.
Oh, this has been so cool to watch. Big playing this well individually. Oh, Santares lines him up, knocks him down, shows us what he can do. And it really has been that 1-2 punch of Tabson and Santares throughout this game. Searson also coming in with good impact, good kills of his own. He did get those couple of kills in that round to help his team win it. It's the pistols that make the big difference, though. And now Sprout on their last legs here. You can even see it in the buy. It's a little all over the place, sadly.
They just scrapped together what they could, and they come out with a couple of AKs. Galil, Scout, and Deagle. Slacks. Looking for this mid pick to try and open things up. He wasn't too far off getting that kill in towards the mid peak, but look at Tizian. He's pushed up short. He's got help there as well. It's not just him alone. Searson's alongside him. Favin is close to these mid doors. He's aware of the aggression in towards short. He can call that to his teammates. They're currently just walking up long. Keto held across to the long play. Dennis has gone down, and finally Favin gets a reward for his patience. He's passing all of that information on to his teammates, saying there's a heavy play in towards short. This play is in towards middle. It's quite a good time to go in towards this long attack. They're going to use those smokes for the cross. First is in. There isn't a second smoke, actually. So that is going to be a bit of an issue. There's a bit of a gap there, but the Molotov used up negates that problem slightly. And Keto, he's going to get killed by the boost over the top. Cressy just gets on top of the site, peers down, gets the kill, and now Sprout have the site, and they've got the man advantage.
Favin's just stayed alive in lower tunnels. Here comes some kills, though. And that flank from Favin has to come through now. He's far away from the bomb, so he's got to get kills early.
Oh, but look at this. They have no idea. Just like that, 2 kills for Sprout. It's all on Tizian. Can he close it here for Big?
Oh, no.
He's running onto the site. His plan is safe side behind the boxes. He's got cover, but he decides to take the fight. And that's going to lose his life. And a round for Big.
Oh, he maybe could have just got on that there. He maybe could have got on it. You know where both players are. You know that the man on long had the sniper. Not easy to get those wallbang kills through, but decides to try and get the initial kill. Doesn't go his way. And Big making a last-second call here. It will be the force buy, but only really Searson with anything in terms of big weapons, and he's already out of there.
Finally, Slack's getting something out of that. This quick long play again for Sprout. Tizian looking to drop back, play with range. He was alone, but he still gets away with 1 kill because Dennis was also alone. The only support he had from his teammates was that one flash around the corner. He had a straight-up 1v1 duel against the only M4 in play for the CT side. Oh, what? Taps in with a quick P250 one-tap onto Cressy. He's out of there, and that is satisfying to watch.
So clean. Doesn't even show much of a reaction to it because he wants the round win. He doesn't just want the nice highlight kill. Keto's turn with the AWP.
They've left him posted up in the last round here as well. He did get 1 kill on the initial cross, but couldn't quite muster more than that. They are a man advantage. 1 kill will be enough on this AWP, most likely to try and close it out.
Same mid-aggression from Big. They've got lower tunnels cleared out, so they know it's the A play. Question is, can Keto find that clear line of sight?
Well, he's playing in quite a good position to peek out, get that 1 kill and drop back in behind cover, which would allow him to get even more, especially with limited time. There's going to be a lot of pressure on Sprout to try and make this work, and that Molotov's not going to clear Keto out. He can just stay in the same position. The site plant starts to commit. Keto out, denies the plant, and now the pressure really is on for Sprout. Keto's going to try and close it himself. He's still alive, still a problem. Finally taken out by Slacks. Headshot in from Spitty as well, but it's all on Spitty. Going for the bomb plant. Now into the 1v2 up against Zantares, and Zantares as Deagle takes him down. Some beautiful performances out of Big here individually. Zantares in particular, what a transition from online to LAN. We'll be back after the break to break this one down.